Hey, everybody, listen, I want to talk to you guys just a moment. Let me give everybody just a second to catch this notification and jump in because I want to share something, especially if you are a business owner, especially if you are in a place of leadership, if you are in ministry, if you're trying to shift over into your 2021 and really need some directives, really need a bit of clarity. I just wanted to come in and share some things that I believe is going to help you prepare for coming into 2021 for your business. So I'm sharing really quick. Because I really want to give some insight and some wisdom. If you guys, if you're watching now, or even if you're watching the replay, I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys some wisdom about intentionality. And I want to give, I'm a clarity strategist. And so I wanted to just take a moment, hey, y'all, to jump on real quick and really give some strategy and some clarity for moving forward. And so this is, one of those moments where I'm going to teach a little bit. And this is something that I usually reserve for coaching clients, branding clients, but I really think that it will help benefit everybody. And so if you will take just a quick moment to share this on your page or tag somebody in that might really need some of this strategy, this information. I'm really going to give some very targeted, specific information. So if you are a business owner, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are shifting over into different levels of leadership, or if you have a desire to shift over into a different level of leadership in business and ministry, in entrepreneurship, then this is for you. Hey, y'all. So take a moment. I was going to have this segment over on Clubhouse, and then I thought about it. You know, there are a lot of people that haven't yet gotten a chance to get on Clubhouse, and so I didn't want to allow people to not be able to get this information. And so I wanted to come over here on Facebook, YouTube, and I think Periscope before, while it's still running, to make sure that I give this. And again, it's impromptu. And I'm not going to stay long, but I just really wanted to give us some, I've been saying it, give us some practical protocol for purpose and progression. So practical protocol for purpose and progression. Hey, y'all. And so again, if you are running a business, if you are in leadership, if you are an entrepreneur, then this is just going to be some very practical protocol for you and your business moving forward. I just wanted to stop for a second and give you guys some strategy, some business and some entrepreneurial strategy for moving forward as you leave 2020 into 2021. So thank you guys that are on. I appreciate all of you all that are sharing. Again, this is just a pop-up, but I believe it's going to give some help. I may go over on Instagram and do this as well, just because I really want to just give these words. So 5 quick things before I begin. Again, I am Dr. Elisa Harney. If you don't know me already, you should know me. Make sure that you are following me. My whole objective is I've developed a purpose positioning system that helps people get positioned to prosper in their purpose. And so it's very uniquely cultivated to help get you into alignment with your specific and your unique assignment. And so my job is to help take you through internal inventory, external evaluation, and atmosphere assessment so that you can do what you need to do to walk in your healthy, wealthy place in boldness and wholeness with clarity and with strategy to get it, to tap into your power, to tap into your purpose, to tap into your progression. So I'm known as Dr. E, the empowerment specialist, and I am always grateful to help. I'm usually on Mondays doing a Mic Drop Monday. If you missed Mic Drop Monday, it was insane. So make sure you go back and watch it. I talked about check your connections, and it is on YouTube, and it is on my Facebook page as well. If you missed it, it was bananas. I'm always, every now and again, coming up and operating in apostolic prophetic in an apostolic prophetic realm and doing prophetic pop-ups whenever I'm led to. So that shows up every now and again. And next Monday, go to mark your calendars. Next Monday night at 9 Eastern, I'm going to be doing my famous yearly annual countdown, 20 things to leave in 2020. So you don't want to miss next Monday night on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, 9 p.m. Eastern, 20 things to leave in 2020. And it's going to bless you. But today I wanted to shift over and give you the other part of me, which is the strategist, the clarity strategist. And, one of the things that I deal with, as a doctor of philosophy and Christian leadership and business, I wanted to make sure that I am giving you all practical protocol for purpose and progression. And so I just want to make sure that out of all of our getting, we get some understanding, we get some clarity, we get some information that's going to allow us to shift on over in what we're planning on doing. And so I call this the strategy of intentionality. A strategy is so paramount to me. Strategy creates structure for your life. It creates structure for your business. It creates structure for you financially, spiritually, economically, relationally. Strategy is so paramount for me. It's one of the things in my life that has really brought a lot of purpose in my in my progression, and it's really important that we understand that strategy is one of those things that we can't overlook. Having a very unique, intentional way of doing things, being very mindful and specific and clear about how we're moving, where we're moving, who we're moving with, what we're moving on, where we're moving into. That's so important for us to be able to see any types of manifestations in our money, in our mindset, in our ministry, in anything that we have. And then intentionality is making a deliberate decision to do it. A deliberate decision to do it, whatever it is, a deliberate decision to take care of yourself, to move forward, to stay out of it. Intentionality is a way to make sure to be very clear, to not be trying to wing it and win, to not be just trying to go with the flow, to not be whichever way the wind blows kind of thing. But intentionality is being very calculated about whatever it is that you're going to do and however you're going to move. And so I wanted to talk to you about something that I call the strategy of intentionality. And again, this is mostly going to help those of you, it's going to help you in your life in general, but specifically if you are in business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in some level of leadership, but even in relationships, I believe this is going to help. So I'm going to give you 5 things not to waste that's going to help you develop your strategy of intentionality. All of us need a strategy of intentionality. All of us need a very clear way. One of the things that I usually do it around September. My birthday is at the end of September. And I noticed that every year in September, I get very introspective. I start doing a lot of internal inventory. I start doing a lot of internal investigation. I start looking inside of me. I start making sure I do a destiny detox. I make sure that there is nothing that has hijacked its way into my head that's causing me to be hindered. Can I say this again? I make sure that there's nothing that's hijacked this way into my head that causes me to be hindered in moving forward. And so when I did this internal inventory, what I start doing is looking on the inside of me and making sure there's nothing lingering in my emotions and my mindset that's causing me to be passive, that's causing me that's preventative, that's stopping me from doing something that I need to do. And so secondly, I also do external evaluation, and I start checking my connections, as I talked about Monday night. I start looking at what's connected to me. Where am I? What am I around? Is it benefiting me? Is it leading me into a wealthy or a healthy place? And then I do atmosphere assessment, which is there anything that's hanging over my head? Guilt, shame, frustration, rejection. And so those things, as I started doing those things, I realized that I needed a strategy of deliberate discipline, something to be very clear about as I move forward in whatever I'm doing. Now, in 2020, I was very blessed and very grateful, very humble to be able to make a lot of progression in a hard place, a lot of progression in a very accelerated place. And I don't like people who just kind of jump up and be like, I just woke up like this. I don't know where it came from. But I realized that there was a strategy that I implemented that helped me with increasing my impact, my income, my influence. And that was the strategy of intentionality, which is what I want to teach you all today. And so if you're ready for the strategy, can you just put in the comments, teach Dr. E, because I just want to make sure that you're here, that you're listening, that you're able to take these notes. 5 quick things. And like I said, I usually teach this in private sessions and private courses, but I just felt like as a whole, this was something that would benefit us as we moved forward into our 2021 season. That's going to help us be more deliberate. Thank y'all in the comments. That's going to makes us be more deliberate in what we do. So the strategy of intentionality. I see y'all in the comments section. Thank you guys again. Make sure you're hitting the share button because this is going to help somebody, I believe, shift forward and build momentum in their money and be more intentional in what it is that they do and how it is that they do it. All right, I see y'all ready. So number one, in strategy of intentionality, I noticed that one thing that we are is that we are wasteful. Listen to me. We are wasteful. We don't mean to be. We don't intend to be. But a lot of the times what we are is that we are wasteful. And I recognize that one of the things that was keeping me from being able to monetize and maximize my messaging and my marketing was the fact that I was being wasteful. And so this is what's going to help us being wasteful. So for those of you all that are faith-based entrepreneurs or in ministry, we understand that the Bible talks a lot about being wasteful. He talks about not wasting your oil, not casting your pearl to swine. He talks a lot about being very intentional about your virtue and about preserving certain things. And so if we're not careful, a lot of the reasons why we are not seeing a manifestation in different places in our lives is because we are unintentionally wasteful, which is why we have to have a strategy of intentionality. Wasteful. And so I want to give you 5 things that we cannot afford to waste that's going to help us develop a strategy of intentionality. Now, one of the things I always tell people is that I can't teach what I don't reach. And so one of the strategies that I always do is I always tell people somebody has to win to give the rest of us the strategy. And so I do things and I do it in a very targeted, intentional, deliberate way. And I make sure that I always structure my steps. I always make sure that I document the direction so that when I come back and teach it, so that when I come back and tell people when they ask me, well, how were you able to make multiple 6 figures, in the middle of a pandemic? How were you able to build a team from doing everything yourself to now having a payroll? You got 8 people that's a part of your team. How were you able to come up out of nowhere and put these courses and put these launches together that had tens of thousands of people that were registering? What happened? Well, one of the things that I had to do was that I had to stop being wasteful. And I'm going to give you, like I said, these 5 things. Thank you guys that are joining and sharing. I want to talk about these 5 things that we've got to stop wasting. That's going to help us develop this strategy of intentionality. Number 1, stop wasting your words. If y'all are typing in this in the comments, I'm giving this for free, y'all. This is a real strategy, but I really feel like this is something that's needed in this hour. Number 1, stop wasting your words. If you want to implement the strategy of intentionality, number 1, stop wasting your words. So a lot of the times I noticed when I look back on my life, when I looked back on the times where I was talking about it, but was not being about it, was because I was wasteful with my words. I spent a lot of times in circular conversations. I spent a lot of times talking to people about stuff that did not mean anything. I spent a lot of times just really, it was just a bunch of hot air. I was talking about what I was going to do, but I actually, because I was talking about it, I didn't have the propensity to be about it. It just felt good to hear myself say things like, yeah, I'm working on a book. Yeah, I'm trying to get some stuff together. Yeah, I'm moving some things around. You see how ambiguous that is? Yeah, I'm getting ready to put some stuff back, and I'm evaluating some things, and I'm kind of looking at some things I'm trying to do, and then eventually I'm gonna kind of get some things going. I'm waiting for wasteful words, not talking about anything, and not talking, and then having conversations that really have no weight. Man, I hope y'all hear this. Having conversations, I realized that with this strategy of intentionality, wasteful words, I had to start monitoring my phone conversations. Who's calling me and what are we getting ready to talk about? Now, don't get me wrong. There are times when you want to have conversations with people that are going to uplift you. There are times when you want to have conversations with people who you're going to uplift. You want to have conversations with people that are going to make you laugh, that are going to let you see the lighter side of things. But I realized that I was wasting words because I spent a lot of time. Y'all hear me when I tell you, I can think, listen, I've been guilty. I've looked back on my life and I remember a period in my life and I just looked at a whole year and I was just trying to figure out, why did I have so much time? The truth was I didn't have time. I was just wasting it. I was just kind of looking back over my life and seeing that I was just talking, sitting around doing nothing, talking to other people about stuff, showing up at stuff, just really doing nothing, wasting words. And so in this strategy of intentionality that I'm teaching today, the first thing that we have to be mindful not to do is waste our words. I had to make the decision. I'm not going to spend all of this time talking about the same stuff. I just said that last week. We already went over that. I'm not just to pacify somebody because they're really trying to keep me from progressing and they just want to talk about the same things over. I'm not wasting my words. We're going to have a conversation about who? Didn't we talk about that? Didn't we have the same conversation last year? I'm wasting my words. You calling me to come to the rescue because you want me to encourage you through what now? Now, this is something I've already given you clarity and given you some instructions about, and you want me to just keep pacifying? I was wasting. I'll take an ouch or an amen in the comment section. I was wasting my words. And I recognized that as long as I was wasting my words, my time was slipping away. My ability to be very targeted about what I wanted to do or what I needed to do was slipping away. It was becoming out of my grasp. I also realized that as I was wasting words, I was also leaving voids, just spilling things out, leaving voids where now other people can dump in suspicion and dump in doubt and guilt and anxiety and anger and disappointment because I was too busy wasting my words. I didn't have substantiation and I wasn't my speech wasn't substantial. Man, I hope I'm helping. My speech was not substantial. So I had to make a decision that if I was going to talk about something, it was going to have value. If somebody was going to stop me from working, stop me from progressing, and I was going to stop and listen and have a dialogue with them, then you better understand that dialogue had better have some type of clarity to it, some type of meat to it. It had to be substantiated. And so I needed to make sure, and that's why we have to do that external evaluation. We have to look at that dialogue. We have to look at the conversations that we are cultivating, because that's one of the strategies for intentionality. What are we talking about? You ought to stop in the middle of a conversation and do a gut check. And what are we even talking about? What are we even fussing about? That's one of the things that you will not ever catch me doing. Listen, I tell people all of the time, I do a lot of traveling, but two places I don't go is back and forth with folks about things that are just circular. We going back and forth. No, strategy of intentionality says that I need to sow my words into the ground. I need them to have substance. I need to be very intentional. So if I'm going to say something, if I'm going to allow you to say something, if we're going to start having conversations, then there has to be a level of reciprocity in what you're receiving and what I'm receiving. And so the strategy of intentionality says, number one, thank you guys for coming on. I hope you guys are sharing, because this is going to help, I believe, shift us over into our next level. As again, if you are a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in ministry, even in your life, this strategy is really going to help you move forward. So number one, I had to stop wasting my words. So number one, stop wasting your words. Number two, stop wasting your wisdom. Y'all know I love alliteration. So 5 things that start with W. Number two, wisdom. Stop wasting your wisdom. So here's what I think is the problem. Because we are sometimes used to just kind of knowing what we know. You know, a lot of us who are creatives, a lot of you all that are just graced to do certain things, you don't really see the level of value that it has. And a lot of times you're just sitting around and you're not thinking that this is wisdom. You're not thinking that what you're saying, what you're doing is very potent, that somebody else, you're sitting there giving free strategy sessions and free therapy sessions and all of this stuff, and you're coming in and people are saying, hey, I wanted you to look over something. What do you think about that? And you're sitting there and you just did a whole administrative evaluation of people's projects, and for them to say, oh, okay, that's what I thought. Thank you. No, listen, stop wasting your wisdom. You have to do that internal inventory and start looking at the fact that what you have is valuable. What you obtain, the things that you have cultivated in your life, whether it be through education, whether it was through the hard knocks of life, whether it was through your elevation in life because you went from one place to another, whether it was through your experience, what you went through, you've got to get to the place where you understand that your wisdom is worth something, that your wisdom is weighty. Can somebody say this to yourself? My wisdom is weighty. I just need you to type it in the comments, because I really wanted to drop this strategy. I believe it's going to help you move forward in your 2021. My wisdom is weighty. You've got to stop saying to yourself, oh, child, anybody could have told you that. Anybody could have did that. Anybody could have figured that out. No, they could not have. I need y'all to hear this. My wisdom is weighty. It's weighty. It has some weight to it. If I think about, I have this, I call it my book of knowledge. It's really like, I'm one of those people, even though I love, I love technology. I'm a good old pen and paper kind of chick, right? And so I like writing things down. And so important things to me go in this book, right? My passwords, my stuff I want to remember. And this book is weighty. It feels like something. When you pick it up, you think to yourself, hey, what's in this book? This is my wisdom. And it's a reminder to myself that, wait a minute, my wisdom is weighty. This isn't a sticky note. Y'all listen, y'all know I love illustrations. I didn't even mean to flow like this, but this is sticky note, right? This is what people want to do. Your wisdom is weighty, but what they want you to do is, can you come over and can I pick your brain for a minute? No, my wisdom is weighty. I need y'all to catch this revelation. Can I get you to look over this paper for me real quick? Can you look over my resume real quick? Can I get you to write me a quick couple of sentences about such as Now wisdom. My wisdom is weighty. There's some weight to it. And because there's some weight to it, then I can't waste it. I'm talking about the strategy of intentionality. And so before you start throwing sticky notes everywhere, before you start, and look at what's happening with the wisdom. If I wrote you something on this, you're going to think I just kind of threw you something together. I just kind of gave you some surface stuff. I just kind of slapped something, as my grandma would say, slap something together for you. And so I'm not going to value something you slapped to me on a sticky note. I'm going to say, oh, okay, well, that's just something, here it is that you just gave me to get by. And so what happens is, no, I start recognizing, wait a minute, my wisdom is weighted. No, you're going to have to book a session with me. You're going to have to enroll in something that I do. You're going to have to show up where I am. I can't just go where you are, because my wisdom, I hope I'm helping y'all, is weighty. And so I want you to understand that you've got to get to the place where you stop wasting your wisdom just because, let me help y'all, just because you can do it naturally, just because you can do it easily, just because you have the grace for it, just because it's just one of those those things that you can do, you're great at it, does not mean you get to be wasteful about it. Stop wasting your wisdom. If people think you know how the old people, back in the day, they would tell you that saying about why buy the cow when you can get the milk free. It was some weight to those words. Why would I invest into you as a coach when you giving me everything free? Why would I invest into your services where you do makeup when every time I need you to can you come hook me up? I already did my foundation, but I just kind of need you to do the eyes and then the lip. Why would I buy the cow? I can get the milk free. Why would I invest into your resume services when I can just slap you email? Girl, I just emailed you. Can you just look over that real quick? And can you just tell me what you think about it? Why buy the cow if you can get the milk free? And so a lot of the times, because people like to make us seem common, I'm helping somebody today. People make it seem like your talents, your gifts, your knowledge, your wisdom is common, like they can get it anywhere. All of a sudden, you will devalue it if you're not cautious, if you're not careful, if somebody doesn't call your attention to it. Stop wasting. Number two, your wisdom. I hope this is helping somebody today. Number three, I'm talking about the strategy of intentionality. I'm going to give you 5 things. This is real strategy. Like I said, I don't waste wisdom, but I really felt compelled to come up here and give you guys something. I know a lot of you all that, want to be in some of my programs and that are not able to. I told y'all that I always still try to come on and give you things that are valuable and give you things that are going to help you all to move through as you navigate through to the next level. I want to make sure that I'm giving you something that's substantiated to help you. And so the strategy of intentionality, number 1, don't waste your words. Number 2, don't waste your wisdom. Number 3, don't waste your worth. Number 3, stop wasting your worth. Now, this is a big one because a lot of the times when we struggle with self-esteem, when we struggle with our value, when we struggle, a lot of the times when we waste our worth, it's because somebody has made us feel as though we're invaluable. Somebody has made us feel as though we're replaceable. Somebody has made us feel as though they can get, child, it's a million of you. No, the devil is a whole bald-faced lie. It is not. There is one of me. And so when we've been to a place where we've been rejected, where we've dealt with abandonment, where we've dealt with betrayal, where we've dealt with exploitation, what we will do is we will not look at ourselves as people who have a lot of value to them. We'll look at ourselves as common, but we won't look at ourselves as really having something that's, as I said earlier, substantiated, something that people should invest into. But we've got to get to the place where we stop wasting our worth. Now, what do I mean about that? So when you start shifting in your life, when you start being in what I call this evolution of elevation, when you start saying, you know what, I'm no longer who I was. I've learned new things. I've graduated in certain things. I've accomplished new things. I have acquired new things. Then guess what? The price tag just went up. And what that means is that your level of accessibility has to start shifting. That means that all of a sudden, where people could just call you all times of the day and the night, no, you start setting boundaries, because you're no longer going to waste your worth. You're going to say, no, listen, I'm a pourer, and so I have to be very protective over my pour. I'm a pourer. I pour into people who want me, who need me. I'm not going to you don't value me. And so because I see that you don't appreciate me, you don't acknowledge me, you don't applaud me, then what I'm going to do is I am not going to waste my worth. Let me move on over to the people who see me as valuable, who want to say thank you, who want to say let me sow, who want to say let me invest, who want to ask me, no, I don't want this for free. I don't need a hookup. How much do you charge so I can pay you? Let me say something to you all. If you want to know how somebody views you, then look at what they're willing to invest into you. Now, this might hurt y'all feelings, but let me just help you again. If you want to know know how somebody views you, look at what they're willing to invest into you. Are they willing to invest their time? Listen, I'm one of those people, y'all. My time is money. My time means something. I value above all. There's a lot of things I value, and I'm not gonna go through my list of God, my family, and all of that. But time is at the top 5 of my list. And so when I think about when I give people my time, when I stop and I give time away, when I know that when that is saying to you, I value you. There is some value. If you have people that will not make time for you, they never have time for you. Listen, I hate to be the one to break the news, but they're announcing something to you. They're trying to get you to see that you're not at the top of my priority list anymore. Don't get mad. Don't be an attitude. Take it as a reality check and pivot. Move on. Say, you know what? Thank you for sharing that with me. I might have been a little slow about figuring it out, but now that I see it, now that I'm aware of it, I can spend my time elsewhere. Because you just showed me. If you want, I'm going to say this again for the people in the back. I hope y'all sharing because this is good. If you want to know how a person values you, look at what they're willing to invest. So are they investing time into you? Are they investing their resources into you? Because if they over there and they got everything, they good, they living well, and nobody says, listen, is there something that you need? Would you like for me to help you? Is there something? Watch it. If they're always trying to get a hookup, if they always want something for free, if they want favors 24/7, listen to me. It's a clear indication of how they value you. You've got to get to the place where you say, I've got to stop wasting my worth. I've got to stop wasting my worth. And so when people try to belittle you, when people try to dilute you, when people try to say, girl, anybody could have, that's all right. If you can't do it, I'll just get my daughter to take my picture because I just need a quick picture. No, listen, you're not just paying me because I'm clicking the button behind the camera. You're paying me because of my experience, my expertise, my education. You're paying me. You're not just paying me because I'm putting some eyeliner up under your eye. No, because I've went somewhere and I've mastered the mechanics of makeup. Man, I hope I'm helping. You're not just paying me because I helped you get some things straight in your head. No, I'm a strategist. And so I went through the psychology of our feelings, our emotions, the psychology of color, the psychology of marketing. And I went through some things to be able to do this, to give you this information. So no, you don't get to look at me crazy because I won't give it away free. No, you don't get to look at me crazy because I don't jump up and do you a favor. How many favors do you need? And so you have to get to the place. If again, you want to see how people value you, look at what they're willing to invest. One thing I know, and two for sure, if I work with people, I pay them what they charge me. Y'all better hear this. I don't ask people for favors. I don't ask people for discounts. I don't ask people for hookups. What do you charge? What is your fee? And then I'll say, now let me pay you. And then I'm going to tip you. I hope I'm helping. And so again, if we want to operate in the strategy of intentionality, we've got to stop being wasteful. And so number one, I don't waste my words. I don't have a lot of time. Listen, one of the things I don't do is I don't do a lot of small talk. If somebody does have my phone number and they call me, hey, what you up to? Oh, okay, what y'all, listen, hey, let me know up front if this is small talk so I can let you know whether I have time at this moment for small talk, because we may have to schedule it somewhere else. Are you calling because you're trying to get to asking for something? Because if that's the case, I'm a straight shooter. Go ahead and ask on the front end. Hey, how you doing? You busy? Listen, let me go ahead and get to the point. I don't waste my words. This is the strategy of intentionality. Number two, I don't waste my wisdom. If I'm going to give you something for free, that's me deciding that I want to share this with you. Me coming up here, even what I'm doing now, I understand that this is wisdom. This is something that I have. I put this together. I've went in and I've done the work. I've flunked. I failed, but then I figured it out. And so now I'm teaching this because I want it to be a blessing. I believe that it will be helpful to other people. So I don't waste my wisdom. I'm very careful about people who, hey, you got a second? I just kind of want to pick your brain. No, you don't get to kind of want to pick my brain, because I'm a strategist, and anything that comes out of my mouth is going to be of value. Anything that I talk about is going to show you how to make money. It's going to show you how to increase your influence, your income, and everything about you. And so, no, I can't waste my worth. It's fun. Listen, I love to give things away for free. I love all this year. I've done 16 launches at little to no cost because I love to help people. But at the end of the day, I also realize that to whom much is given, much more is required. And because now I have a whole staff, I got my payroll increased. I would be crazy to keep coming up, giving away everything free. I would be crazy to keep keeping prices at $20, $30, $50, $100 when I got a whole staff, a team. The reason why now I'm able to provide different levels of value is because I had to invest in it. And so I can't waste my wisdom. Thank y'all. I appreciate you guys for coming on and sharing. And I love opportunities when I can share stuff like this. But if you want to move forward in your particular business and you want me to, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I realized that in a 45-minute span, I gave a $15,000 idea for 1 month, for 30 days, because when I talk, there is wisdom, there is value. So I don't waste my wisdom. Number 3, I don't waste my worth. You've got to look at yourself as a person of value. You've got to look at yourself as a person who's went through stuff, who've obtained things, who've made it out of certain things, and who've accomplished some things. And so you have to say, wait a minute, I'm just not a fly by night. Listen, I had to learn for myself when people would say, well, that's okay, I can always go to somebody else, they cheaper. Let me give you a priestly benediction. Listen, may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. And may he give you peace and peace. I'm okay. I'm okay with that, because 9 times out of 10, let me tell you what had ended up happening. They came back and they said, listen, I wish I would have waited. I wish I would have kept that money, because I spent a lot of money and they had a few things that were good, but for what I needed, it was from you. I should have just went. So now let me get myself together, because I got to come back to you. Well, I knew that when you left, but listen, be okay with the bye-bye. Man, who am I helping today? Be okay with that bye-bye. Stop. Listen, I've been saying that we're not entitled to anybody's evolution. Whatever people need to do to shift, listen, let them go. You make sure that you understand your worth, that you're not coming down off of your high place, that you're not coming down off of the things that's been tried and true, that you're not going backwards, because you have to be able to stand in what it is that you do and who it is that you are. Number 4, stop wasting your work. Stop wasting your work. Man, I hope this is helping. I wanted to just give you this. That's right. You get what you pay for. Number 4, in my strategy of intentionality. Number 4, stop wasting your work, your WORK, your work. Some of y'all are the best and the brightest. You guys are amazing at what you do. But because of these obligatory relationships that you're in, you waste your work. Everybody, hey, I need you to put a quick flyer together for me. There's no such thing as a quick flyer. I've got to sit down and I've got to conceptualize this thing. I've got to sit down and I've got to cultivate my creativity. No, there's no such thing as a quick flyer. No, it's not quick. There's no such thing as can you just do me a light beat? No, listen, there's mechanism even to a light beat, because I got to do your makeup and then I got to make it look flawless like you just woke up. There's no such thing. Listen, why are you trying to act like that? I just need you to just real quick. No, listen, no. Can I help us today? It's going to be a good crisp no for me. Y'all know my hashtag. It's a no for me. Yeah, let me just go ahead and deliver this crispy no. It's a no for me. I can't afford to waste my work. Not my work. Not my work. No, you think blood, sweat, and tears to put this together? What I had to sacrifice, what I had to go through, what I had to cultivate, what I had to listen, and then I'm just gonna give it away for free? No, it's a no for me. No. There will be times when I will do things out of the goodness of my heart. There will be times, if I can, that I will pass out favors. There will be times, again, I get accused. Y'all better hear me. I get accused. It's funny to me that I spent this entire year launching things for little or nothing. I come on free every single Monday night. Nobody thinks about what it takes for me to come up with new revelation and fresh insight, and what I had to put in to make sure that I upgraded my cameras and my lights and my microphones, and what I pay for the different programs that I do. I just show up. I show up for free. I come up and I pour. Sometimes I prophesy. Sometimes I give strategy that you would really be paying money to do. I was launching programs this year where people on LinkedIn were stopping me saying, how dare you only charge $97? I've paid up to $10,000 for that level of information, but I wanted to make sure that I help people. And the minute I started shifting, the minute my prices started changing, a lot of people had a lot of stuff to say publicly and privately about the things that I do, not looking at the level, not looking at the investment, not looking at what it takes me to do what it is that I do. And so what happens to us, we have to get to the place where we're not wasting our work. When we're not explaining, it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that go into what I'm doing. If I'm always showing up, that means that somebody else is not getting something from me. And so we have to get to the place where we're okay. We're okay with not wasting our work. It takes a lot to show up. Y'all better hear me today. It takes a lot to run a business. All you looking at is that you get to run in and sit in the chair and get made up or get your hair done or get your nails done or whatever it is. All you seeing is that somebody's slapping something together and it looks flawless and it looks easy because they have the grace. No, the grace makes it look easy. But let me tell you, there are some things that go behind it. There are some things that fall apart. There are all kinds of mechanisms when it comes to even when can I help y'all with something? Even when I launch things that are free, it costs me. Let me say this again. Even when I launch things that are free, it still costs me. For the people in the back, even when I launch things that are free, it still costs me. Just because I'm up here right now for free, you think it didn't cost me? It still costs me. It still costs my internet package. It still costs me to invest into the lights, the camera, the microphone. It still costs me to the monthly fee that I pay to use some of these things that stream from me. It still costs me to make sure that I have all of the decor and the backdrop and whatever it is that I need. It still costs me because I had to study and I had to get this wisdom. I had to spend time getting revelation. It still costs. So we have to get that. That's right. I call it the cost of free. I like that. It's still, we have to get to the place where when we look at, and this is what I want to help y'all, those of you guys that are talented, I want you to really look at the value in what it is that you do. I don't want you to look at it like, child, anybody could have just jumped on Canva and did it. No, listen to me. Anybody couldn't. Just because everybody can doesn't mean everybody should. And there are some things that you just have a knack to do. You know how to do it well. Listen, put a price on it. I'm trying to help us because this is the same people that's all of the time saying, I just want to always be a blessing, always broke. Listen, this is not a rebuke. This is a revelation. This is not a rebuke. This is a revelation. I've been there. And what we do is we pacify people. Hear me, when people want something, they're going to go get it. I didn't want to really charge nothing because I know people struggling really, because I saw them at the store the other day. Looked like they were buying the finest hair. I saw them at the nail place. Looked like they were getting the deluxe package. Really, because they had a bunch of Amazon boxes outside of their door because people are going to invest in what they want to invest in. Listen to me. Now, I'm not talking about things that are outside of, our cost bracket. So before anybody try to get, well, Dr. E, don't send me, listen, let me just go and be Tupac. Don't send me no inbox talking about, well, Dr. E, some of us can't. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about for those things that we can invest into. Let me just pause real quick here. Because again, I'm trying to help us get to the next level. At some point, I got tired of saying, I wish I could afford that. At some point, I got tired of saying, man, I always feel like I'm the one left out. And I realized, you know who fault it was? It wasn't the fault of the person with the high prices. It was my fault because I was wasting my words, my wisdom, my work, and my worth. I was wasting it. I was giving stuff away free. I was letting people come in and penny pinch while it took me all these hours to do something they paid me $20 for, or said, well, we can't pay you, but we can bless you. No, you can actually pay me. The problem was I didn't present a price. Uh-oh, I know this gonna hurt somebody feeling because we love saying that kind of stuff. I can't pay you. Let me just go ahead and say something. And this is the truth. I put a post up a few months ago, and I'm just gonna say it again since I'm all the way out here. You'll never be able to pay me what I'm worth. And the same goes for y'all. You'll never be able to pay me what I'm worth, but you can invest into what I'm willing to release. I'm just going to say this one more time. This is going to help somebody. You will never, and that's for any of y'all. You can make this statement be about yourself. You need to tell somebody, you will never be able to pay me what I'm worth. Never. But you can invest into what I'm willing to release. You've got to say to yourself, I am valuable and nobody can pay me what I'm worth because I'm invaluable. But you can invest into what I'm willing to release. I have a bunch of programs and people come for me without doing their proper research, right? Because they see me on one end, but you've got to trace the tree and you've got to go in because I've got receipts along with the recipe, right? And one of the things that I do is, I've been talking about it, and of course pushing my K Club, and because it's the biggest project that I've invested into, and I believe it's going to have the most value out of a lot of the things that I have done. My K Club, where I've built a virtual country club for Kingdom women. I'm calling it the birthplace for business. And so for women, Kingdom women who are ready to look at themselves and say, you know what, I'm just gonna invest this $5,000 because it's less than $5,000. And when you look at the great scheme of things, when you look at how much money you've put into different things all through the year, and you don't have to pay it all at once either, but you can say, you know what, when I calculate how much I pay for my nails, my hair, and $490 a month or whatever the monthly price is, this is going to help me with business. This is going to give me therapeutic group sessions. This is going to help me with my style because I need to figure out how to dress different. This is going to help me with aerobics and get healthy and eat better. This is going to help me get some strategy. This is going to help me get my finances together. I'm investing because I'm worth that. I'm worth that. And so I do have an exclusive program. I have an exclusive coaching program, and it's premium, right? It's very premium because of what I'm teaching. I'm going to teach you how to do landing pages. I'm going to teach you how to do things that drive traffic to you. I'm going to show you how to develop a signature program. You're going to be able to spend a VIP with me one-on-one. You're going to be, and so of course it is a 5-figure coaching program because I don't even let people have access to me through the year. So yeah, it has a price tag on it. But at the same time, did anybody get in my inbox and ask me if I have a mentorship? Because I got a group mentorship you can get involved in. And even though it's still premium, it doesn't cost as much as those do. It still costs, don't get me wrong. But we got to understand something about it. When we realize, and when I say waste, hear me what I'm telling you. I say waste it doesn't mean that you meant to. Sometimes when we waste time, we don't mean to. We were just watching TV, or we were just on the internet, or we were just browsing, and we lost track of time, but it's wasted. It's gone. We didn't get to do anything with it, right? And last but not least, number 5, because I feel myself getting attitude. Number five in this strategy of intentionality, number 5 is wealth. Stop wasting your wealth. Now, let me just talk about money since I'm already leading into this. Stop wasting your wealth. A lot of the times what we will do is we will spend money into things that have no substantiated value. We will spend money for moments. Man, I just stop spending money for moments. I'm talking about stop wasting your wealth. This is the last segment of the strategy of intentionality. We spend money for moments. And don't get me wrong, moments are meant to be valued. But think about it. When we think about a birthday and we go get dressed and get our hair, nails, makeup done, an outfit, spent $500 just to look good, and then we go take photos, which we might spend another $200 on. Then we have a big dinner that we done hired somebody to cater it or to make it look good. So now we just spent $1,200 on a moment. I need y'all to hear this, on a moment. We spend money on moments. And if you are intentional, let me help with something. If you're going to invest, there's a difference between spending money in moments and investing into something that I call progressive sustainability. So the other day I had a photo shoot, right? I had my last photo shoot of the year, and I invested money into it. But the photo shoot is because I have 3 projects that I needed positioning for. I need presentation and packaging for. So I didn't spend the money for the moment. This was progressive sustainability. I invested into this shoot because I know that the things that I'm being intentional about are going to bring monetization to me in the long run. Am I helping anybody today? And so we spend money on moments just to look good for a moment. And then when something happens for us and something is available to us that actually has something that's sustainable, we can't afford it. Well, whose problem is it? I was mad at me because I looked back and I saw, man, I spent a lot of money on moments and they weren't substantiated. And so what I had to do, that's when I started doing that evaluation. I started looking and saying, do I really need this? Do I really need it? Can I cut back on this? What all these subscriptions coming from? Do I need them? Do I need to go shopping every this and that? Can I buy something one time and let this sustain me? Is this really necessary for my now? So we waste money in moments and we're wasting our wealth. And then when something is presented to us, one of the things I do appreciate about the women that follow me, I really appreciate them. They're very honest. And in my purpose positioning group on Facebook, some of them were saying, Dr. E, I was in my feelings when you put the K Club out there because it was out of my reach financially. But I also recognized that I had been wasting my wealth. And I recognized that I had been investing in stuff that God didn't tell me to do. I recognized that I had been throwing money away on certain things that were really not necessary when this is the stuff that I really wanted. And so now that's making me go back and reevaluate some stuff. Now I'm putting myself on a diet with my finances. I'm going back in and straightening up my credit. I'm going in and looking at some of the things. Is this valuable for my now? Is this necessary for my now? And so, strategy of intentionality. I didn't even mean to come and pour this long. I thought I was just going to run up here for 30 minutes. But y'all know, see, this is what I'm talking about. When I talked about not wasting my worth, I recognize that there's nothing that I do that's just quick, fast, and in a hurry. I am very intentional about what I pour out, what I give to people. And so as a recap, and thank you guys that joined. And that's right. We'll spend money on moments, but not no mentorship. I got a whole mentorship program where I poured weekly into my group, into my team. We have masterminds where we come together and I allow them to operate in their spiritual gifts. So let me just shameless plug. If you guys are looking for a mentorship, now don't come. There's nothing that I have that is cheap. Let me just be honest. I am going to be putting some things together. I hope you guys are following me on social media because I am putting something together that I'll be announcing in January that's going to be affordable across the board. And I expect everybody to invest into it because you'll blink and that money will be gone. But for people that actually are looking for accountability, they're looking for a different level of progression, a safe place to speak, a responsible way to release, then make sure that you guys hit us up in our emails and our DMs and our messenger and let us know if you guys are interested. We have to, this strategy of intentionality, I believe if you take this to heart, it's really going to help you in every area of your life. Number 1, stop wasting your words. Number 2, stop wasting your wisdom. Number 3, stop wasting your worth. Number 4, stop wasting your work. And number 5, stop wasting your wealth. So I'm Dr. E. I pray that this was a blessing to you guys. If it was, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section and let me know. Make sure that you share it and let somebody else know. Now, listen, if I catch somebody going out trying to pass this off as a strategy and then slap their name on it. Just so you know, we hired an entire legal team, and you will politely get a real quick cease and desist letter. We don't play these games. One of the things that I was intentional about is that I don't go live off of my personal page. I go see, I'm giving y'all free strategy. Go live off of my business page, because the empowerment, Elisa LaShell, the empowerment specialist, is a registered trademark and protects my intellectual property. And so when I'm speaking and giving these words of revelation and this clarity and this strategy, it's mine. So I just want to put that out there, because I know, we be having scammers and haters and poachers and people who come in to take the notes and run and try to sell it off like it, but no, that's all me. That's this me. But anyway, pray that this has been a blessing for you all. Pray that it has given you some insight and some impartation and some instruction as you navigate out of your now into your next. I'm Dr. E, and I will see you guys